Hello, welcome back to another session today. It is Phoenix, right? Ace Attorney. Justice for All, specifically. I believe this might be the 6th session, maybe? And I believe we're halfway through the, or more than halfway through the game already. It's going to end soon. After this one, there's going to be maybe a couple more weeks or 3. Then we're going to be moving on to a new one. So yeah, that's I was looking at it, looking how much we still have, and I was like, oh, that quick? I was enjoying it. But you know, good as always, you know, all good things have to end sometimes. So yeah, in any case, we're back with this case where it's about a circus and we're fighting this time against a witness, quote unquote, a witness, a crippled witness, and this will be interesting to you know, re-experience. I know how the story goes, at the very least at the end. So you know, I wish I could have forgotten this little detail, or you know, who's the murderer and how it all happened. I remember it clearly, just because it is a bit ridiculous. But yes, without further ado, let's start. All right, shall we? Alexis, no, no grandpa yet. Wait for wait for me to start. Grandpa will be in this one, of course. December 30th, 9:41 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 5. Good morning, Max. Oh, yeah. Good morning, sweeties. You don't seem like your usual sparkling self today. I'm always like this before I go in front of an audience. I'm working up to it. Tee. Oh no, it's Regina. Why a sad face? No sad. Alexis, no sad. Don't get nervous, Maxie. Here, have a glass of milk. Regina. How fabulous. My sweetie pie princess. Just for everyone's acknowledgement, again, a reminder that Max is apparently 21 years old and Regina is 16. Alright, let's continue. Grandpa mad at me. No, I'm not. And also, no, I'm not your grandpa. You came to watch my performance today. Of course I did. Mo told me that I should come and watch this. Mo said that? So, what kind of performance will you put on today? Let me guess, you fly at the end? It's not that kind of show. Isn't that right, my sweeties? Huh? Oh? I think my sweetie pie princess doesn't... Yeah, she doesn't seem to realize what's going on, or even where she is. Well, Max, it looks like it's time to raise the curtain. I'll see you later. Today, I'm just a member of the audience. Fabulous. Enjoy yourself out there. Good luck, Max. You're the best. Regina's different, don't you think, Nick? Top of the morning to you. Everybody, let's get ready to get stuck in legal limbo. How low can you go? Mo? Top of the morning to you, Governor. Top of the morning. That's a ticket. Attacking the day starts with energy in the morning. Early birds get the worm, but then again, worms lack higher brain function. Here, Max, I brought you a present. Have some milk. Oh my. Thanks. Why do everyone keeps giving Max milk, though? So, how are you today, right? Well, I've got a feeling that today I'm going to face off against the real culprit. You mean Acro? You think he did it? Be careful. He's used to putting his life on the line. Literally. He's got guts to spare. If all I've got to worry about is how thin the tightrope is, I'm used to it already. It just means that I won't be able to press him like I can other witnesses. Are you going to do that, Nick? I guess today we'll just have to do without our usual psychological warfare. Today we rely on evidence. It's the only way we'll get past Acro and to the truth. You're right. It's gonna be tough. Anyways, I want you to make sure that Regina sees it all today. It's important. That she'll finally have to deal with the reality of what happened to her father. You want us to make sure Regina watches? Yes, that's why I brought her to court here today. What's that supposed to mean? She needs to know that when people die, they don't just become stars. I may be an old-fashioned clown, but I don't believe in people becoming stars. Well, I don't know why that's bad though. I guess... Really though. I guess, I don't know. I feel like it's just a description of saying if it's only an analogy of saying someone is, if when someone dies they go to heaven or something. So probably someone has to explain it better than just saying they just become the stars or something. Court is now in session for the trial of Maximilian Galactica. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Miss Von Karma, you may proceed with your case. The prosecution would like to revise its previous theory of events. What's the meaning of this? We have discovered a new witness, or shall I say, a new eyewitness. One that saw Maximilian Galactica fly off from the scene of the crime. Order! Order! I had a feeling something like this would come up. Due to the revision, we are now prepared to explain how the defendant flew that night. An explanation the prosecution will present if the need so arises. In fact, my detectives stayed up all night creating a mock-up of the scene, on my orders. Poor Gumshoe. Very well. Please call your witness to the stand. Time to get to work. Or shall I say, time to walk to the courtroom tightrope. That doesn't make sense. Name and occupation? Ken Dingling, but everyone calls me Acro. I'm employed as an acrobat at a very big circus. Where were you at the night of the crime? I was in my room that night. If you look at the map, you will see the witness's room is near the crime scene. My room is on the 3rd floor. The crime scene is below my window. The night of the crime, the witness saw something quite shocking. Would you tell us what you witnessed? Okay. I feel like Acro as a character seems like really emotionless or something. So calm that he seems like emotionless. It was just after 10 PM and I was resting in my bed. Around that time, I heard a large thump noise from outside the window. Then, a few moments later, I saw someone flying right by my window. It was Max Galactica. I only saw him from behind, but that's who it looked like. To be honest, When I saw that, I thought I was dreaming.
This witness's testimony matches up exactly with that of the clown.
If that's the case, there is very little the prosecution need to add. All that's left is to explain how the defendant disappeared into the sky that night. Before we get that far, I'd like to cross-examine the witness. A foolish choice by the foolish fool who wishes to feel the foolish sadness of a sad fool. The man must not know the proper timing for things, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Just like your old friend, Mr. Miles Edgeworth did.
Mr. Wright, do you have a problem with the witness's testimony?
In the words of Miss Von Karma, and I quote yesterday's proceedings, there's no way that actually happened.
Very well. You may proceed with your cross-examination.
Alright. This is a doozy because I have no idea what. Can I press? As long as I am able to press, I'll be fine, I guess. It's after 10 p.m. I was resting in my bed. You say that you were resting in bed. One would thus assume that you turned the lights off in your room, correct? That's correct. But there are safety lights around the outside of the lodging house. It's so bright sometimes it can make it hard to sleep.
If that's the case, wouldn't it be a good idea to close some curtains?
That's actually quite a good idea. I never really thought of that. I guess that means I'm off to buy some curtains. Yep, he is, or just pretending to be dumb.
Sometimes I do make myself useful in these chambers. Oh!
The witness will proceed with his testimony. Okay, compromise. I don't think there's anything wrong with this. A few minutes later, I saw someone flying right by my window. Are you sure it was a human being? It could have been a mannequin, or perhaps a large action figure. Well, setting aside the possibility of a mannequin, an action figure is possible. You have no need to mince words with Mr. Phoenix Wright. Testify to the truth and only the truth, just as we were there with you last night, that night. I believe it was a human. Damn, I just strengthened his testimony. I want the accurate statement jives with the facts. Does it jive with the facts, though? There's something wrong with it, I feel like, but I don't know if I have the evidence or choice to show that it's wrong. There's a huge contradiction with the testimony that was just given. Objection! If there is a contradiction, then prove it with evidence.
She's right. Let's see some evidence. Do you have evidence to support your claim of a contradiction?
Oh, blunt force trauma to the back of the head. No. Yeah, if anything, I don't think I have any evidence indicating that of that. Right. I have nothing like that. So am I just am I just dead? Let me see. Wait. Oh yeah. I'm totally dumb.
Take that!
Yes. What in the world is this?
Oh no. I made it wrong? Okay, oh well. That means I need to press something. 1, 2, 3, 4. It was Max only saw him from behind, but that's what it looked like. The light in your room was turned off then, right? That's true. I was going to bed after all. So, with the lights off, you were still able to clearly see a human fly by your window. The safety lights lit things up enough for me to see, but honestly, there was only enough light for me to see the silhouette outside my window. It was the person's back, so I couldn't see the white roses on the front.
Did you see any of the other symbols?
I clearly saw the silk hat, as well as the cloak wrapped around his body. I'm convinced that the person I saw was Max Galactica. The more I press him, the less results I seem to get. Maybe there was something fishy with this latest bit of testimony. There's a huge contradiction with the testimony that's given. Okay, it's the same thing. You claim to have seen the exact same thing Mo saw that night. Do you stand by that? What do you mean? The silk hat. What about the silk hat? I saw it on Max's head as he flew by my window. Well, you should have tried looking down out of your window that night. That would have been quite difficult considering the state I'm in. Just looking outside of the window was a tough enough challenge for me. That's a shame, because you would have noticed a silk hat found on the scene. That's the ringmaster's hat, right? Afraid not. No matter how you look at it, this is Max's silk hat.
Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Are you saying that Max has 2 silk hats?
No, this is a handmade, one-of-a-kind model made only for Maximilian Galactica. There is no spare at all if it were to go missing or damaged. Which means, Acro, that you've been fibbing on the stand.
Order! Order!
As always, it looks like someone has to open their mouth before thinking. Are you okay, Nick? Well, I opened my big mouth, and now I have to back it up.
How about it, Mr. Wright? What would cause this witness to commit perjury in his court today?
He, Acro, is the real culprit. Your Honor. On this occasion, the defense accuses Acro himself. On this occasion?
Accuse Acro? What in the world are you accusing him of?
Obviously, we accuse him of the murder of Mr. Russell Berry.
Mr. Wright, are you serious?
Deadly serious, Your Honor. I think your trips to the circus have served you well. You seem to have learned how to try and grab at the audience's hearts and minds. Your Honor, don't allow yourself to be swayed by theatrics. Trying to wow the crowd with smoke and mirrors is the oldest bluff in the book.
Really?
If you don't believe me, just look at the witness. He's calm enough for it to almost be scary. He is staying rather calm and collected. I'm getting poked by the bird.
Mr. Dingley, do you have any response to the defense's accusation?
I don't really need to say a thing, do I?
What do you mean?
Everyone, take a good look at me. I can't even stand up by myself, let alone leave the lodging house.
That's true.
I understand that Mr. Wright is just trying to help his client. But to do this by accusing me of a murder of all things. See, even a sliver of common sense makes it clear the accusations is ludicrous.
She's right. Way to pick out a disabled, you heartless crewman.
Phoenix is a bobby hat.
Okay. see that, Mr. Phoenix, right? If you're trying to drum out support for the peanut gallery, that's how you do it. I think that's enough of this little game. I've got a doctor's note to confirm that Acro is unable to stand under his own power. Maybe the defense is planning on making a claim to counter this as well. I can hear the defense now. Acro had an accomplice.
What do you say about this, Mr. Wright? Did Acro have an accomplice?
Of course he didn't. Now then, this must be when we get to hear the name of the mystic accomplice. Not this time, Von Karma. What? You're not going to sucker me into this one.
What are you blabbering about, Mr. Wright?
There was no accomplice. Acro planned and committed this murder all by himself.
Order! Order! What are you getting at?
Way to keep it on your toes, Nick. I'm going to have to prove how it all fits together. I have to show how Acro murdered Russell Berry. Can you do it, Nick? Can you really do that? I know what I can't do. I can't stop now. If I stop attacking, I'm doomed. Alright, then let's do it. Mr. Phoenix Wright. If this witness is a killer, then his eyewitness account is all lies, right?
Mr. Wright, I'd like you to clear something up for me. When the crime was committed, exactly where was Mr. Dingling?
In his room. He was obviously here the entire time.
That's Acro's room?
Pretty simple, eh? Acro wasn't able to leave the lodging house by himself. In that case, there can be only one correct answer. Acro didn't leave his room to kill the ringmaster. What? Are you nuts?
What say you, Mr. Dingling?
It's an interesting theory. That's it. Considering that what you propose is impossible, yes, that's it.
Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor?
As the witness has stated, your assertion is impossible. As he is in a wheelchair, there's no way he could go to the scene or be the killer.
You've got a point. It seems you've forgotten once again, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The defendant was clearly spotted at the scene of the crime. That's true. Mo said that he saw Max, didn't he? But Maya, it's still impossible for humans to fly. Do you mind if I ask a question, Mr. Wright? What is it? I understand some of your logic. However, how do you think that I killed him? If I can't leave my room, I obviously couldn't wear Max's costume. How did he do it? That's the next course of this legal buffet. Be careful, Nick. If you mess up here... She's right. I can't mess up here. I've got to give this one more serious thought. I'm sure that Acro killed the ringmaster. And he did it while he was in his room. No doubt about it.
Time to enlighten us as to how Mr. Dingling committed crime, Mr. Wright.
I know I have the evidence, but really, can I not present it at this moment? Yes, I can. I'm going to present some evidence.
So what did Mr. Dingling use to commit the crime of murder against Russell Berry?
It would be... this. No? No! Wait. Is there another? Okay, this picture. Damn it.
What's that? A picture?
It is indeed. The problem is with the item that's shown in the picture.
A bust?
It's quite a large bust, and because it is life-size, it is also very, very heavy. Heavy? Heavy enough to guarantee a certain death, especially if it was dropped from a third-story window. Ah! See? This is how Acro was able to kill the Ringmaster, with the force of gravity and Maximilian Galactica's ample bust.
Order, order! So you're saying the bust fell onto the Ringmaster?
A rather simple crime. Even if you were stuck in a wheelchair, it would be incredibly easy to commit. How could you possibly wheel a wheelchair with something so heavy? It's impossible. Well, Acro is an acrobat. He should have more than enough upper body strength to carry something like the bust.
Mr. Tinkling, how do you respond to these charges?
Well, Acro's has lost for words. He should be. He knows that I'm getting close to the truth. Well, Acro. Oh, ouch! I watch what you say if I were you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? Your Honor, the physical health of the witness is material to this case. I demand we get proper testimony from the witness himself.
Testimony, you say?
Von Karma. She's just using this testimony as a browse to... She's just using this testimony as a browse to stall for time. There's absolutely no need for such testimony. The defense has its version of the murder. The prosecution has the right to respond.
The defense objection is overruled.
Why can't he see things my way once in a while?
Mr. Dingley, I'm sorry, but we need you to testify about your physical condition. If you have any doubts about your ability to testify, we can request expert testimony.
The witness will have no problems. However, let's all be respectful towards him. Thank you. Ugh, that woman will sink to any low to win a case. I suppose I could have lifted something that size of that bust. I have a strong upper body from working as an acrobat, and only my legs were injured. However, lifting the bust and looking out of the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. That makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the ringmaster's head. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bust on him, don't you think? I think you're lying.
I have no doubts in regards to this witness's testimony.
It was impossible for him to lift the bust and stick himself out far enough to look. Not to mention that he could not have known the location of the ringmaster's head. A single false step would have led to even more severe injuries.
That's what I was thinking. What is your opinion on the matter, Mr. Wright?
I'd still like to proceed with my cross-examination. He's simply stalling. It's shameful, really. Can't let her get to me. I've got to focus. Indeed. Focus is all I have. I will lift my bus and look at it. Would it be impossible? This is why I could have access to kind of force on my lower body. Possible for me to know the location of the tornado. Why do you say it would be impossible? Allow me to explain. You accept that if I was carrying the bus, I couldn't see out below the window. Thus, there is no way that I would know the location of the ringmaster's head. Well, I suppose you've got a point. Hey, Nick.
Huh?
What if you turn things around? Maybe you think of it sort of like this. If he knew the location of Ringmaster's head, then he could have dropped the bust. That does make sense. If only I could prove somehow. The Acro knew the location of Ringmaster's head without looking down. I think I've already explained things sufficiently. If all you had to do was drop it, then it wouldn't have been a problem at all. If all I had to do was drop it, you're right, I could have done that. However, there's no way that I could land a direct hit on the Ringmaster's head.
So that kind of makes your theory a bit pointless, doesn't it, Mr. Wright?
Acro is strong enough to lift up the bust. The main problem is how to could have aimed for the Ringmaster's head. I wonder if you use some kind of tool to aim for the Ringmaster. That's the ticket, Nick. Show them what you've got. I have to be careful. I have to find something that fits perfect for the case. I don't remember years finding sort of tool. Maybe we overlooked something. Yes, I think it's a statement, right? And I know the object, which is this object. But is this the one is this a statement, or is this the object I should present? Because that's the only way for the for Acro to know where the witness, the victim is. Because, or it would be this one where it talks about come to the plaza, and then something like that. But this is a bit more vague, so I feel like this would be it first. All right. Wait, I used the correct. Okay, never mind. I was wrong, I guess. Yeah. It seems this is the way. Crime photo or this box, apparently. Objection! Apparently you can choose either. There's two evidence to choose from. Acro, you didn't really need to lean out of the window, did you? What are you driving at, Mr. Wright? You already knew ahead of time where Ringmaster's head was going to be. Quite precisely, I may add. Your silly hinting at things is pointless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Enough stalling. How about you show us some evidence? But I did such a good job hinting.
Yes. Hurry up and explain things, Mr. Wright.
Maybe you should take a look at this. Wait, I didn't show the photo though. The key point here is the wooden box.
The same wooden box that the victim was found hunched over.
The same. The question is, who placed the wooden box here? Who? When Ben and company saw the Ringmaster, they didn't see him holding the box, which means that this wooden box was already placed at the scene of the crime.
I have to admit that your theory makes a lot of sense.
The moment that the bus came falling down was exactly the same moment that the Ringmaster lifted up this wooden box. Which means that the answer to all these questions is now crystal clear. You mean...
If the bus were to fall upon the point marked out by the wooden box,
there would be no way that it could miss the head of the victim. No!
Order! This is unbelievable.
Finally, some of these loose ends are starting to tie themselves up. Now I just gotta keep going. There's only one way to go from here. Forward.
So the next question I have is, who placed that wooden box at the scene?
It was Mr. Dinkling, of course. He connected it to a rope, and then all he had to do was lower it down. Ow! Allow me to whip some... Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Ow, 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 ow!
The ringmaster's head could have been anywhere when he lifted the box. That's why the box was so specially made. Specially made? Indeed. It had a most peculiar feature. The weight of the box. Wait. Weight of the box, contents of the box. I think it's not really the weight, right? How much is 20 pounds? I guess it is the weight. The box has a remarkable weight. Weight?
According to the court, it weighs 20 pounds.
Just to lift up this wooden box would have required.
Oh, I see. One would have to squat down and lift it up with their body, wouldn't you say?
That's exactly what I was trying to point out. The box is also very large.
The box also has carrying handles on either side, doesn't it?
That is correct. To lift up the box, you'd have to squat down. Which means that no matter who you are, your head would be in approximately the same place. Fool! Does he even bother to listen to me anymore? I've heard what you've said to say. I must admit, I'm shocked at your imaginative skills.
Did you do it? Did you place this wooden box in the plaza?
Mr. Wright may have a vivid imagination, but I could never have done what he's proposing. What? Mr. Wright, do you recall the original location of Max's bus? I remember. Of course I remember. It was on top of the table in the cafeteria.
And what happened to it?
I'd like you to remember one important fact, Mr. Wright. I could not possibly leave the lodging house by myself. Ah, that means... You understand what I mean, don't you? I may very well have been able to drop the bus from my room. However, how would I have gotten the bus from the cafeteria to my room? You see, Mr. Phoenix Wright, explain that. Don't forget, you said there was no accomplice. Ugh. Tell us exactly how the witness would have carried this bus from the cafeteria. Yep, we definitely have a problem here, but this is no place to get perplexed. I've got to get my wits about me and prove how things happened once and for all.
All right, Mr. Wright, let's hear your explanation. How did the witness get the bus from the cafeteria back to his room?
I'm gonna say Regina, because that's what I remember. Oh no, apparently not. Good thing I look at the thing here first. I don't think... Wait, why would it be... I feel like it's not possible though. But okay.
The monkey?
Everyone knows money. He loves shiny objects of any size.
Oh, like when he stole the ventriloquist's ring.
So, are you saying the witness had a monkey steal the bust? Of course he didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it on his own, and then brought it back home.
Home?
Money lives in Acro's room.
Acro's room?
But the bus was bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny. Maybe you should put the width down sometimes and read the record record. Oh.
My, those are some very nice cards he's holding.
Yes, they are made of platinum, which is very shiny, but also very heavy. So I don't know how a monkey would have been able to carry that. But then again, when we look into Acro's room, there's a bunch of stuff that the monkey wouldn't have been able to carry. So, you know, there's that. Gua! Acro. Money is a strong monkey, is right? It'd be easy for him to bring the bus back to your room. Okay, let me explain why Regina would have been the one who would help him carry it. Was Regina also helped him moved around? I believe he helped Alcro go to the cafeteria. So maybe that was a thing. I don't know. I guess not. I guess he could have done that, but more probably would have get caught seen doing it. Maybe if he wasn't able to handle that himself, I'd be on the market for a new roommate.
Order, order! I said order! Miss Von Karma, where is the bus in question at this moment?
I don't know. We're searching for it as we speak.
This is a rather strange turn of events. But let's say that monkey had not stolen the bust. What would have happened then?
Well, in that event, something else would have been used as a murder weapon. Wait. Then you mean this bus was a murder weapon purely by accident? It's possible. Maybe Acro saw money mounted of stolen goods and thought to use one of them. Anyways, I think we're more than proven one critical fact. Namely that it was entirely possible that Acro was the murderer. Moron!
Mr. Wright's argument was so circular, I'm still a bit dizzy. However, his argument does hold water. There's no denying that. Wow!
Don't seem so bamboozled, especially by this fraud of an attorney. Fraud? You've forgotten the absolute most important thing, Mr. Phoenix, right? And what is that? You should know. You forgot that your fraud of the magic client was spotted at the scene of the crime. Ah! There's no reason to doubt the clown's testimony.
That's right, true. How do you respond to that, Mr. Wright?
Nick, don't let her beat you down. Won't. This is my chance to turn this trial around. When the murder occurred, there were two people at the scene of the crime. One was the victim, Russell Berry, and the other was the murderer himself. Answer this and only this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Who was the murderer the clown saw? The bust. But then, I don't know, can I present the bust? I'm gonna look at the thing. Yeah, I can present the bust. Take that! He saw Max's... Ow! I asked who was the other person most saw on the scene. The evidence has nothing to do with the question. Au contraire, mon frère. Au contraire, mon frère. It does indeed have something to do with the question. Mo said he saw Max's silhouette. But he did not actually see the man himself. It was a human being he saw. Oh, I thought we established that.
How is that possible?
It's simple, really. what Mo actually saw that night was Max's bust.
Objection!
What are you talking about? Have you tried using your brain at all in this case? The silhouette he saw was wearing a cloak.
Objection!
There's no reason why you couldn't attach a cloak to the bust. It would be easy to hang one of the cards in the bust's hand. Idiot! Who in the right mind would put a cloak on a bust? It doesn't matter who put it on the bust.
Just wait a minute now, Mr. Wright. Who put a cloak on the bust? The question is of utmost importance in this case. Don't you agree?
Oh, he caught me.
So let's have it, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust?
I'm gonna say say something really ridiculous. It could have been Russell Berry. Most likely. I feel like it's most likely Russell Berry. Yep. It's ridiculous, but it's only one that makes sense. Fool. Him?
You are saying it was the victim himself, Russell Berry.
What I'm saying. The victim himself placed the cloak on the bust. Place the cloak isn't really the right way of putting it.
What would be the right way of putting it, Mr. Wright?
Explain yourself. Nick, do you have a handle on all of this? I'm fine, Maya. I'm finally putting all the pieces together. There's really only one picture I can paint, anyways. Alright. So you want to know what really happened that night? Let's step back in time. Oh boy. This is a lot of reading. Let me drink some first. Alright. Acro used the rope to lower the wooden box onto the scene. Then he attached that rope to the bust and dangled the bust out of his bedroom window directly above the wooden box. At the same time, the ringmaster told Max to wait in his room and went to the scene. Of course, at the time, the ringmaster was wearing Max's costume. Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that night. But just as he feared, he was spotted at the entrance of the lodging house by none other than a ventriloquist and his puppet, Ben and Trillo. When the ringmaster arrived at the scene, he bent over to lift the wooden box. And that's when Acro took his chance and released the rope. Now, this is when the magic happens. At the very instant that bus hit the victim, yep, that totally makes sense. You wait just a second there, Mr. Phoenix, right? As much as you try, as much as you scheme, this just isn't true. It can't be. Still a little early to be getting so upset, Miss Von Karma. The circus isn't over yet. What? The impact of the bust on the victim threw the cloak up, which snagged onto the bust. The impact also caused a sound a certain witness heard, prompting him to take a look. That witness was, of course, Lawrence Mo Curls, the clown. When Mo looked out his window, the cloak had already snagged onto the bust. Now, having completed the crime, Acro naturally went about pulling up the murder weapon. Of course, he had no idea that Mo saw the bust being raised with the cloak dangling on it, primarily because in his wheelchair, he couldn't see out of his window. So he just kept pulling the bust up. unintentional magic trick happened. And that is how the magical murderer disappeared into the sky came to be. Yes. This crime that happened is like really, I guess, seared into my mind. So I won't be able to forget it. So you see, the only person who could have pulled this off is one person who was able to drop the murder weapon from above the crime scene. Acro, it could only have been you. Yeah, Acro is like one of the most calmest murderer, or at least accused. I feel like probably entire game. He just doesn't get phased at all. Acro's been playing mind games with all of us. He sure has. But he has come to the end of his rope now. So, what now? You've graced us with a rather long-winded tale. But do you have any evidence to prove that your fairy tale is true?
Evidence?
In this court, only two things matter. The power of evidence and the power of my whip.
Don't forget the power of my gavel as well. Mr. Wright, the prosecution brings up a good point. Can we see some evidence?
Nick, they say they want evidence. I just explained how there can only be one possible murder method. But there is still something unusual about Mo's eyewitness account. Unusual? A contradiction, actually. Okay then, use that and get out of this jam.
That's enough talking amongst yourselves. Proceed, Mr. Wright. Present some evidence to the court that backs your claims. I want hard proof that you have unraveled the trick to this magic case.
I would say the small seasoning bottle is the evidence. Everything else doesn't seem to be in any way remotely connected to how this murder is done, other than maybe this. It's either this or this, right? Because this was inside the box, but then they're really hard to connect this. This was found by Russell, and yeah, indicates the time and place of the murder. So it's most likely proves that the box is left there and how the murder happens. So I'm betting it's on this one, but let me just confirm, right? Okay, I was totally wrong. Apparently it's this. Oh wait, no, not this one. It's apparently this one. Or the silk hat, apparently. Why though? I want hard proof that you have unraveled the trick to this magic case. Oh, I'm guessing this is, they are trying to say this is how Max does his magic trick. That's how that method was thought up of doing. How Acro thought of how Acro thought about the murder method is based on this magic trick, I guess. It's a bit convoluted though. The problem is Max's three symbols. You know, the silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses.
Those symbols were a problem numerous times during yesterday's proceedings.
Yesterday, there were two contradictions in Mo's testimony. the silk hat was one, the white roses were the other. But the theory I just presented explains all of these contradictions. You fool! Do you ever shut up? Max's silk hat was found at the scene of the crime. However, remember what Mo said yesterday. He testified the criminal he saw fleeing the scene was wearing a silk hat. There's only one explanation for that. The silk hat that Mo saw was actually the bust's. True. Or it could be another hat, you know.
Makes sense, if you look at it that way. And he did see the silk hat. Well, sort of.
Objection!
Fine, we've got one. But what about the other contradiction?
The other contradiction?
Remember what that ventriloquist said in court? He said that he witnessed white roses on Max's chest that night. But the clown's testimony doesn't match. The clown said that there were no witnesses. There were no white roses. I'd like to see that try and explain that one away. Can you do it, Nick? Of course, I can explain all of it. What was that? Please recall the instant when the cloak snagged onto the bust. If the cloak snagged onto the bust, what happened to the white roses? It's just covered. Okay. Do you get it yet? If the cloak got snagged onto the front of the bust, it means that the white roses would end up on the back of the bust. Ah! Which explains why Mo didn't see them. The white roses were not visible because they were on the backside of the bust.
Order! Order!
Oh boy.
This is quite a shocking state of affairs. Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd to me. However, let's just keep going down this road for a while and see where it leads.
Let's do it, Nick. Maybe Von Karma will finally throw in the towel. Nope, they aren't. There's still more to explain. Because this is like one of the most complicated murder that anyone could like come up with by themselves with what they can do. It's a miracle or everything happened. Well, so much for that theory. Mr. Wright, do you mind? What is it? You took the time to research our circus, didn't you? Well, yes, I did. Is there something making you think I didn't? If you did, then maybe you'll understand why I think you're off track. Why is that? Motive. This witness feels an incredible debt of gratitude towards the ringmaster. Anyone with any relation to the circus is well aware of this. Thus, there's absolutely no way someone like this would kill the ringmaster. Yes, because it was an accident. Or at least the wrong target. Sorry. Your Honor, I'd like you to hear Acro's story. Learn about his relationship with the ringmaster and his life up until now. What do we do? There's no doubt that Acro deeply respected ringmaster. Acro's motive.
It seems that this case isn't over yet. Very well. However, I feel this is a good place to take a break. I will listen to the rest of Mr. Dingling's testimony after recess. This court will now take a 10-minute recess.
All right. Well, I guess, this is a good stopping point. It actually shows you somewhat that in a criminal trial, there are two things you have to prove. Prove that the act has been done, and depending on what was accused of, what was charged with, the crime, the offense, the intention. If, let's say, we're accusing someone of murder, it's not just you have to prove that they did kill someone, you also have to prove that they had intention to kill someone. Which, regardless of who Acro wanted to kill, he had the intention to kill. Just the wrong target. Oh no. My bottle, that's why it felt weird. It's broken. Oh well. This bottle has been with me for a very long time. It's no doubt it's broken. It serves as a very good hydration supply. Alright, let's continue. December 30th, 2:70 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 5. I can't believe it. Acro? It's pretty shocking, isn't it? It definitely is. And to think he was always the most straightforward of the group. Jeebus, and I hated? Am I that hated? Echo tried to pin the murder on you on purpose. He did. Psst, psst, cough. Okay. But I'm nothing but a little old nobody, you know? But you're not, which is kind of the reason why. Cough.
Hey, pal.
Oh, yeah, I know who's that.
You're gonna ignore me after I went all this trouble to bring you some evidence?
Ah, Detective Gumshoe.
Oh, forget it. I'm going home. This guy deserves to be guilty anyways.
Now, Detective. I'm sorry. Look, why don't you relax a little? We got some really tasty milk. How about a card trick, Detective?
Oh, well, if you insist.
Now, about that evidence you mentioned. What is it?
Here you go.
Huh? That was yesterday in Acro's room.
Yep. I've included forensic results. Take a look at it later.
Won't Miss Von Karma be mad that you're doing this?
Oh, that's why this is all a secret.
Huh?
Huh? Look, details are on a need-to-know basis, and we're not really allies or anything. But everything that's happened in court up until now has gone according to our plan.
I don't know. Miss Von Karma didn't seem in control of things in there just now.
You'll figure it out eventually, pal. Yesterday, our final plans were set in motion.
Final plans?
Uh-huh. That reminds me, I got a message from the prosecutor for you. Nothing is ever truly decided until the very end. That's it. And that's it for me too, pal. I'm out of here.
What do you mean by that? The very end part? I'm not sure. It was all pretty cryptic to me.
Oh, one more thing.
Ah! Don't scare me like that.
It looks like there's a large care package from the circus for the defendant.
What? For me?
It's milk. The reception area looks like some kind of dairy. So hurry up and drink it all before it spoils.
An entire dairy's worth of milk? For me? Why though? What's with the milk thing? December 30th. 2:27 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 2. They have to, it pitied them, they have to like spend almost New Year's Eve in court and being accused of a murder.
Court is now back in session. Miss Von Karma, please continue from where you left off.
I'd like to continue with Acro's testimony, starting with his relationship to the victim. I'd also like to get proof from the defense. Also, did I get something new? Alright. Bat's scarf, stained with his blood, and a small quantity of pepper. Proof of what kind of motive Acro would have to commit this crime.
Understood. Now, Mr. Dingley.
Yes, Your Honor.
Please proceed with your testimony.
Finally, we get to the motive. Wait, Nick, are you okay? Just do me a favor and don't ask questions you don't want to answer to. Gulp. Gulp. Right, round 2. When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. That's when the ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, Russell Berry, took us in. I became an acrobat at around 9 years old. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life. I feel like there's nothing wrong with that statement now. I'll just have to press it all or something.
You're such a thoughtful young man.
As you heard, the witness deeply respected the victim. I wonder how anyone could think that Acro would kill the man he held in such esteem.
You are absolutely right. How could anyone think that, Mr. Wright? Which is why there's no real need for a cross-examination, is there?
Actually, that's the question I'm trying to answer myself. Why would Acro kill the ringmaster? This might be my last chance to answer that question. Of course, I'll cross-examine. Defense has the right to cross-examine the witness. You're so tactless, Mr. Phoenix, right? You don't care about justice, do you? You just want to fabricate a motive.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Cross-examine the witness.
Okay. When we're little, I'm gonna put crosses. We. Yes, my brother Sean and I.
What? You have a brother?
How old were you when this happened, Acro? I was 8 years old and my brother was 4.
Your parents were very cruel, weren't they?
Nowadays, we aren't bitter about what happened to us, because it allowed us to meet the wonderful people at this very big circus. Nick, the judge is getting misty-eyed. He's got a soft spot for the sob stories, it looks like.
Ow! Sniff, sniff.
No crying in court. Let's keep going.
Sniffer, the witness may proceed with his testimony.
Just press everything, I guess. How would you describe your relationship with the ringmaster? He was like an uncle, a father, and a big brother all rolled up into one. The ringmaster and my brother were the only family I had.
How about the other people at the circus?
It was over 15 years ago. Back then, there were very few customers coming in, so no one really had the time to look after us. We were worried about other things. But the ringmaster, he would always come see us with a laugh and a smile. What a beautiful story. That's why I was always thinking of what I could do to help. I wanted to thank him. Nick, isn't Acro such a wonderful person? I know. He seems like a nice guy, which is what makes this so difficult.
So then, how long have you been a performer?
You started off as an acrobat at an early of an age. I begged the ringmaster until he finally agreed to let me do it. Ever since then, I've been in incredible physical shape. That's also when I decided to form a group with my brother. We called ourselves the Flying Dinglingberries. It's nearly a household name. Okay. I've even heard of them in Germany. Liar. The point is that I wanted to be of some use to the circus.
You are truly a remarkable young man.
Job keeps looking at Acro almost like a proud father. Alright. Did you ever had any trouble with the ringmaster? Ow! How could you ask such a thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Do you have some sort of fundamental misunderstanding of this witness's testimony? All the heartfelt emotions contained within. You better think about this, Phoenix Wright. You better think hard. Ow! 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 Ow!
No matter how you look at it, there's no way I could see this witness ever taking the victim's life. Oh.
Exactly. I've been waiting for you to say that, Your Honor. Nick, I hate to say it, I agree with him. I was trying to chase down the truth, but I ended up just looking like a jerk.
I think that will be enough for now. Pondering whether or not this man would kill the ringmaster leads me to believe that it is pretty unlikely.
Exactly right, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, I'd like to ask you a question.
Go ahead, Your Honor.
I would just like to know, can you provide an explanation as to why Acro would want the ringmaster dead?
I can't provide one. Nate? Yeah, I didn't even have to think about it. It was obvious from the start, Your Honor. The reason that Acro killed the ringmaster is something that can't be proven.
What?
It's because Acro had no reason to kill the ringmaster at all. Ow! Your foolish attempts to fool us like foolish fools is so foolhardily foolish. Did you forget? You made an accusation against this witness, did you not? I believe it was. This is the real killer of Russell Berry, ringmaster. If you want to jump to the end of things, then yes, it sounds about right.
The end of things?
Acro. You didn't plan to kill the ringmaster at all, did you? The ringmaster wasn't your target that night. What did you say? I'm saying that the target of this witness's murderous plot was not the ringmaster. Because it was never his intention to kill Russell Berry to begin with. For what?
Order! Order! Bailiff, I don't care who it is, smack anyone who's loud in the face, twice if you must. Mr. Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to my court? Ow!
Okay. Instead of whacking the audience, he got whacked himself. Mr. Phoenix Wright, what in the world are you trying to do this to God? Okay. Are you attempting to imply that Acro was trying to kill someone else? Yes. Was trying to kill. But is this what I'm going to present though? That's the question. Yes. Regina Berry?
This young girl is the ringmaster's daughter, correct?
Acro. You were really aiming for her that night, weren't you?
Objection!
You don't need to answer that. It's a mean-spirited leading question.
Objection!
He could easily answer this question. If I'm wrong, all he has to say is, you're wrong. That's it. That's it, huh, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Enough! Mr. Wright, allow me to— Ow!
The only thing allowed to interrupt me is death itself.
Huh? Huh?
And that goes for you too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Show me evidence, now. I want to know why Acro would want to kill Regina Barry.
Yes, me too. I demand to see some proof. Present evidence that proves Acro was out to kill this young girl.
You know what? I'm like 90% sure it's this one.
Take that!
Yeah. Acro. You remember this, don't you? It's a piece of paper that we found inside the ringmaster's tailcoat.
Inside the victim's tailcoat?
Acro wrote this note. It's ironically entitled "To the Murderer." Its purpose was to call someone to the plaza at 10 p.m.
So you're saying that he called Russell Berry with that note?
Yes, there's just one little problem.
Problem?
Acro did indeed place this note into someone's pocket. However, that someone was not the ringmaster. You mean it wasn't Fodder? That's exactly what I mean. The person this note was intended for was none other than Regina Barry.
Order! Mr. Wright, this little theory of yours.
It's the truth, Your Honor. It isn't a theory. Simply put, Regina didn't think the note was meant for her, which is why the morning of the crime, she placed it on the cafeteria bulletin board. That's when her father, the ringmaster, saw the note. That's correct. The ringmaster ended up in the plaza instead of Regina. And he was killed because of that mistake. Instead of Regina.
That's incredible.
Remember the testimony that Acro gave us earlier today? Lifting the bus and looking out the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. If I were to do that, I'd end up falling out the window myself. Acro had no idea who it was that arrived in the plaza, because he couldn't look down out of this window to see who it actually was.
I've got it! Acro thought it was Regina down in the plaza.
And that's when he'd let the bus fly. Hey Nick, isn't Regina listening to all this from the audience? She is. Unfortunately, it's only going to get harsher from here. I hope Regina can handle it.
Acro wrote this note to Regina.
Objection!
Foolishly foolish fool with foolishly foolish fool ideas of foolish tomfoolery. You're so foolish, you've even made me sound like a foolhardy fool. Very well, Mr. Phoenix Wright. If you're so sure, then tell us about this line. I have conclusive evidence of what took place. Yes? How about that line? Well, if the note was meant for Regina Barry, it would mean that this note is declaring that Regina Barry is a murderer. You just don't get it, do you? What? What did you just say? The ringmaster knew what the note meant, which is why he went to the plaza, in place of his lovely daughter.
Oh, hold it right there, Mr. Wright. What is this incident that is alluded to in the note?
The incident 6 months ago. I know all about it. An incident occurred 6 months ago, and now I'm more than ready to show this court what happened at that time. Moron.
Wait, are you sure it relates to the present case?
It does indeed, Your Honor. Everything in this case starts in what happened 6 months ago. Really, Nick? I think so. Well then, if that's the case, hurry up and tell us about it. What is the conclusive evidence mentioned in the notes? I know I'd certainly like to know what it is. If I can't answer that question, you're just going to think I'm bluffing. The conclusive evidence about the incident 6 months ago is actually this. I believe.
Take that!
Achoo! 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 Achoo!
Okay. What kind of spicy joke is this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? It isn't a joke at all. It's the decisive evidence you asked for.
What do you mean?
Recall that the victim was trying to take the wooden box away with him. He was doing so because this piece of evidence, decisive evidence, is what was inside.
A not unbelievable conclusion. Very well, Miss Wright. So, what exactly are you saying?
You know, when I think about it, he probably could have, unless it's locked. Yeah, it was locked. Yeah, he couldn't open it. But he knew what was inside of it.
Are you claiming Regina Barry killed someone with a small bottle of pepper?
Taking a note into account, that's the only logical conclusion you can draw.
Objection!
Foolish fool who never tires of his foolish ways. If you're so sure, Mr. Wright, then answer this question. Who's Regina Barry's intended victim? I'm gonna say Sean Dingling. But I'm not that so sure. I'm a 70% sure. Yep.
Take that!
Who is this?
That is Acro's younger brother.
Objection!
What does this prove? His younger brother isn't dead. Technically, that's true. However, Bat has been in a coma for 6 months now. It's not a stretch to see how Acro could feel that his brother is dead.
Regina, she did that to him.
Do you spend your entire life dreaming up of new ways to be a fool? Naturally, the prosecution has to look into Acro's brother, Sean Dingling. Since 6 months ago, he was bit by a lion and fell into his current comatose state.
A lion?
Miss Regina Barry is an animal tamer by trade. However, no tame animal in that position ever trained to attack another human. They would understand the command. Moreover, Miss Regina could never do something like that. It's just not in her.
So then, what happened to Acro's brother?
He's not the victim of an attempted murder. He's the victim of an accident.
I see.
Now what do we do? No one seems to be going along with your theory. Do you think what happened to Bat was actually an accident? It was more than that. The lion biting Bat was no accident at all.
What?
You're such an amateur, Mr. Phoenix Wright. There is no way that Regina would ever incite a lion to attack another human being. She may not have incited a lion to attack another human being, but Regina is responsible for making a lion bite Acro's brother Bat. I'm 90% sure this is the one. Yes.
Take that!
Yes, it's just a scarf.
Acro. This scarf is something that Bat used to wear, correct? That's right. And who is the one that gave this scarf to Bat? Regina. Regina gave it to him.
Regina!
There's something more than just blood on this scarf, Your Honor. It stayed there for 6 months.
And what might that be?
Pepper.
Pepper?
Pepper.
Pepper?
Pepper. Regina gave the scarf to Bat right before the accident, and she covered it with as much pepper as she could. Hey, what's with the silent treatment?
Excuse me, Mr. Wright. You've done a good job fingering a criminal, but out of curiosity, what was her crime? Miss Berry gave a pepper-covered scarf to Bad as a present. Where's the crime aimed at?
Still seems like the judge doesn't get it. Mr. Phoenix Wright, wasn't it said that Lion seemed to be smiling?
Smiling? The lion was smiling?
Right before Bat was beat by the lion. For a moment, the lion's mouth changed and looked like he was smiling.
Lions? Smile?
I've never heard of them smiling. However, lions sneeze.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Leon wasn't trying to bite Bat at all. In reality, all he actually did was sneeze. He sneezed because of all the pepper on the scarf.
What?
You fool!
You've got to be kidding me. What's the matter, Miss Von Karma?
I object. For objection's sake. Mr. Phoenix Wright, this theory, you believe it. You really intend to say that this is how this joke of an accident actually happened? Of course I do. It's the truth. The lion sneezed to the pepper, and so went bad. Lost consciousness. Acro nearly lost his brother due to this accident, or this joke, as he put it. Which is why he tried to get his revenge against Regina. You foolish idiot! Ha! Ha ha! It almost does seem like a terrible joke, doesn't it? Once again, I'm impressed by your imagination, Mr. Wright. To think that there's someone who treats this accident with the respect it deserves. Are you telling me that what I said was true? Acro, you don't mean, you can't mean, witness.
Are you confirming the defense's claim?
Mr. Wright, unfortunately, your imagination is not enough to find me guilty of murder. What do you mean by that? The pepper, the scarf, the lion. I see where you're going, but it's a bit hard to swallow. Not to mention the fact that there's an even bigger problem with your theory.
What would that problem be?
The same problem it's always been. Evidence. If I drop Max's bus on top of the ringmaster, where is the evidence that proves that claim?
You mean the conclusive evidence?
The biggest problem is the murder weapon, or the lack thereof, to be more precise. The murder weapon.
The bus that the defense claims was used. If that were to be found in Acro's room, that was covered with the victim's blood, that would be awfully conclusive in my eyes.
Yes, it would be. I already know. But yeah, oh wells. The bust. Nick, you've got to do something. This is the last step. If I get this one right, the case is won. Request to search Acro's room. Request to search Acro's room. Just to confirm, I guess. The defense requests to search the room of the witness, Scan Dingling. What is it now? It looks like you still haven't figured things out, have you? By now you must have known the meaning of Von Karma, total justice.
You mean? Oh,
I won't come and never leaves anything to chance. We already searched Acro's room yesterday.
what did you find?
There's no reason to even say it. If we found what you think we found in the room, Acro would not be here as a witness. But to put a point on it, Max's bus was not in the room. The murder weapon is still unaccounted for. You see, Mr. Wright, the bus wasn't in my room. Furthermore, Detective Dick Gumshoe executed search by complete surprise, and we took Acro directly to the prosecutor's office after that. End of story. Just wait a second. Something's funny about all this. Ha 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 ha. It looks like you lacked the final nail to put into my coffin. But, what about a scarf? What about a note? What about them, Mr. Wright? No offense, but the only evidence that is relevant here is that which pertains to the death of the ringmaster. You should know that by now. Ugh. Do something, Nick. Don't let this case slip away. The bus, where is it now? Where's the bus right now? You're Phoenix, right? You know where the bus is. I'm sure you do. It's not even a single clue. How am I supposed to know where the bus is?
It seems this case is coming to a close. The defense's counter-arguments look to have fallen short.
Thank you for your support. Ugh. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright.
I think that brings to an end the cross-examination of this witness.
Hold it! Where's Max's bust? The defense needs time to prepare to present its case. Sorry, I'm a little nervous and I just bit my tongue.
Huh?
What? What do you need? We need time to... Why are you the most surprised person here? She's your aide, isn't she?
Do you really have a case to present, Mr. Wright?
What? Are you asking me? The rest is up to you, Nick. Good luck. Hey, wait. You can't be serious. Acrobats always have their lives on lines, don't they? That's how Acros live his life up until now. Now it's time for us to walk across our own tightrope. If we don't, we're certain to lose.
Very well. The defense may proceed.
He doesn't have a clue, and I don't think he'll be finding one anytime soon. Walking the tightrope of logic, there's no room for a false step. Sink or swim. The only way through is forward. The murder weapon. Where is Max's bus now? Somewhere. In this courtroom. It's the most ridiculous one. It's obvious. The bus is inside this very courtroom.
It's obviously where?
Allow me to pinpoint the location of the bus once and for all. The witness stand. Acro. I'm sorry to ask this. Do you mind if I take the blanket off your wheelchair? It's like, oh shit, in his own mind, but oh well. I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you, Mr. Wright. Well, you're a big guy, and you have a pretty big wheelchair because of it. I just want to make sure you weren't hiding anything under that blanket. Because it seems to me that it'd be really easy to say, hide a bus under there. That's the thing though. The entire... When I first played this, right, played this case, the game has never shown us his lower body at all. So how would we ever know it's covered in blanket? We just don't know. There's no way to look at it. Ha 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 ha. Once again, your penchant for humor hits me where it hurts, Mr. Wright. I think it's pretty amazing that you can laugh in your position. However, your lightheartedness doesn't change the fact that the bus is under there. We all know that you can't leave the lodging house by yourself in your condition. That proved inconvenient when Miss Von Karma happened to search your room yesterday. If she found a murder weapon in your room, it would have been all over. Which is why you had to hide it in the only place that you could hide it. Under your wheelchair. Yes. Totally don't search the wheelchair dude that has blanket over his giant wheelchair, I guess. Which is why, Acro, I have to ask you again. Would you please remove the blanket from your lap? Well done, Mr. Wright. Masterfully played. You fool! How could you? Why are you so angry? We found a murderer. You know what? I don't really understand the mindset of the prosecutors in this world. You know, their aim is to make sure someone gets thrown in jail, and that's what we have always been to be able to do. We got someone to get into the jail, get into prison. You know, it's just not the right person, right? So it's not like the murderer got away or anything. We found the right murderer, even more so, right? So it's like, why are you so angry? We still managed to catch the true murderer, and you still get to prosecute the actual murderer in another trial if they plead guilty, of course. But of course, once everything has been, out in the bag, so most likely the accused would just plead guilty, and there's a smooth process. The prosecutor just have to go through it and be done with it. But no, they are angry at the defendant's attorney doing their job, helping them do their job, which is like I have no idea why. It's like, why are you so angry? And we're helping you, actually. At the same time, helping ourselves, of course. But yeah, you've got me. I've been backed by a real pro. Actually, two of them. Miss Franziska Von Karma and Mr. Phoenix Wright. What did Franziska do? I don't know. I guess she did all the police work, I guess. What? There's just one thing I'd like to know. How did you know to launch the surprise search on my room last night? There were two pieces of decisive evidence. The cloak and the bust. I burned the cloak in my room and threw the ashes away with the trash. Regina always took my trash out every morning, you know. But the bust, obviously I couldn't throw that away. When you executed your search, all I could do was try and hide the bust. And the only place that I could hide it quickly was under this wheelchair. Miss Von Karma, you had things all figured out, didn't you? I was completely sucked in by your calculated strategy, and now to be caught in the middle of court hiding the murder weapon, there's no way I can escape that. So you've got me. Well done, Mr. Wright. Well done, Miss Von Karma.
It all makes sense now.
I can't believe that Von Karma thought that far ahead. It's amazing. Uh-huh. You definitely couldn't tell by looking at her. I know I couldn't. I can't believe it. Me. Make a mistake. Why did I order a surprise search of your room? If only I hadn't done that. Why? If we didn't do that, then the actual murderer would have gotten away? What's your logic here, Von Karma?
It seems we finally arrived at the truth. Acro,
Yes, Your Honor.
did you kill the ringmaster of the very big circus, Mr. Russell Berry?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm responsible for that crime. Acro. All my brother wanted was for Regina to like him. That's why he'd tease her. One day, my brother sprinkled some pepper on Regina. She started sneezing so hard, you couldn't help yourself from laughing. That's why Regina thought it'd be funny to get him back in the same way. And that's why she covered the scarf with pepper. I know she didn't mean for anything bad to happen. I know this. She just wanted to make my brother sneeze a few times, too. But I just couldn't forgive her, no matter what. What am I truly guilty of? I'm guilty of never ever being able to understand her. Your brother became a star. Regina believes in that so purely that she would laugh innocently when they sing it, too innocently. I just couldn't stand it, no matter how hard I tried. It's when you decided to do something about Regina. How dreadful.
So are you saying that you are a victim in all of this as well?
No, that's not what I mean. I'm nothing but a murderer. That's who I am. At first, I thought I'd killed myself. Then I pondered giving myself up. But I couldn't just leave. I just couldn't. Not yet. That's why I tried to pin this on Max. Max, I'm so sorry. I just couldn't up and leave yet.
This has been such a strange case. It's almost a reflection of the circus itself.
I'm an idiot. I can't believe it. You beat me again. You know, we can talk about this if you want to, but alright.
I believe this case is now beyond any point of possible discussion. Thus, I'd like to declare my verdict. Not guilty. Yay! This court is adjourned.
Oh yeah, those was not really that hard. Maybe it's because, yeah, I remember this last part. December 30th, 4:27 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 5. Fabulous! But to be honest, I can't really be too happy about this. Acro, Ringmaster, Regina, and Bat. Not a single one of them was a bad person inside, huh? That's a good question, and one I don't know the answer to. Many congrats, but only a max a million of them. Thank you. Don't make jokes right now, can you? Can you not do that? What's with the vibe in this room? We're just thinking about Acro. No. If you worry about people too much, then you'll be like this forever and never be happy. Huh? Oh my god. You can see a tonsil. Wait, is that a tonsil? Wait. I don't know what you call that. You know, the thing behind your tongue. Above your tongue. She's been like this for a while now. Wah! It's all my fault. Wah! This is a sweetie pie. Bat and Acro, they'll never come back. Now everyone's gonna split up. Regina, Mr. Wright, tell me something. What do you want to know, Regina? Acro said something right at the end. I just couldn't up and leave yet. Does that mean that Acro is he gonna try and get his revenge on me? I don't think so. He's not gonna do that to you, Regina. Are you sure? You're really sure? I can't believe that. I can't believe that. Yep. Acro doesn't have any desire for revenge anymore. If that's true, then I want to see some evidence. Oh boy. Huh? Oh? I want to know you're not just making up that stuff about Acro not wanting revenge. The only thing I might be able to present is Bat. But I'm gonna look anyways. I'm gonna confirm this. Pom 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 pom. You know what? Yeah, the game doesn't. The walkthrough doesn't tell me, but I'm gonna say this. Acro didn't want to get caught for a reason. He wanted to see his brother open his eyes again. The Bat! That's right, Regina. He's still alive, you know. Oh, sorry. That sounds more Regina. I never knew. But now that Acro's been caught. Uh-huh. I know. What? I'll do it. I'll stay next to Bat as long as it takes. Until he opens his eyes, and then until he can meet Acro again. That's so sweet of you, Regina. I'm so sorry, Acro. I'm sorry, Bat. Well, hopefully this is enough to give her a little peace of mind. Hey, Max. What is it, Mo? We really put you through a lot, didn't we, buddy? I'm sorry, but about what happened. So whenever you'd like to leave us, I'll pay your fee and rip up the contract. I understand. What a fabulous thing to do for me. I might even leave tomorrow. What's going to happen to the circus now? Ah, that's the big question. Our ringmaster was really an amazing person, wasn't he? Even though he's not here anymore, everyone is sticking together. The staff, the performers. No one wants to leave the circus. That's why I made a decision. What is it? I've decided that I would take over as the new ringmaster. I'll turn this cursed circus into the best circus this world has ever seen. The best circus the world has ever seen? Don't laugh. That's quite a goal. Hey, I can't wait. Then I guess that changes things. Huh? You know, I really need to put it as a redeemed. Because that word keeps coming up. There's only one thing the best circus the world has ever seen needs. The world's best illusions. Which means the circus needs the best magician the world has ever seen. Max. Let's work together and make our circus super fabulous. What do you say, big guy? I don't know what to say. All I can say is thank you. Gina, you're gonna help them out too, aren't you? I don't know. Maybe the circus would be better off without me. What are you talking about, Regina? Why do you think that I brought you to court today? We got to work together to make the very big circus bigger than it's ever been. Mo. Mo's right, sweetie pie. It can't be the very big circus without Regina Barry. Max. Nick. Seems like everything is going to turn out alright here. I can't wait to go see the best circus the world has ever seen. We'll save you the most fabulous seats. Of course, not free, though. It'll take us a while to get ready, and I'm going to order special whoopee cushion seats. Yes. Finally, I'm glad I don't need to do that anymore. I see what made the case.
Yesterday's surprise rate you repaid off you just like you said it would, sir. You had it all figured out, didn't you?
It's just a theory. If Acker really was the killer, I thought this was the only way it could end. Especially if he was the defense attorney. Oh, I'm guessing this might be Miles Edgeworth.
You mean Mr. Wright?
Of course. Well, detective, my plane is about to leave. As for Mr. Acker's case, you need not worry. I plan to personally stop by the chief prosecutor's office as soon as I get back.
It's Miles! Understood, sir. I'll be waiting for you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Hey, you're wearing blue. Hey, Miles is gonna be back. Right. Brand new episode has been added. Oh, this one. I think I know this one. This is also a pretty memorable case, I guess. Alright. That would be it. I think we are going to be ending it a bit earlier than usual. But yes, that was fun, right? And also interesting twist for anyone that have not seen this before. But yes, hope you all enjoyed this, and yeah, we're going to start the next episode next week, hopefully. Yeah, it's always every Thursday, I believe. But of course, for those people that are watching the beauties, sorry, you might be getting it early or later a bit, but it should be coming out every week. But yes, thank you so much again. So as well, and take care, stay hopeful, but be critical, everyone. Bye bye.